Okay, so pre-season is now over. The transfer window is nearly over. Premier League starts next weekend, and more importantly, we've got rid of Chukwueze. Get in. As such, I thought I'd do a very, very quick your shout. Just basically looking at a bit of pre-season transfers, looking forward, and basically just boil the pants off here for 10 minutes or so. So here we go. Pre-season wise, I don't take a lot personally from pre-season. To me, it's just all about fitness and togetherness and all that sort of stuff, particularly with a new squad. We had a few good results, but I think the pleasing thing was to get like wins under our belt, no matter how we get them and who we get them against, because it starts bringing together the team, but also gets that winning mentality in there, which has got to be a good thing going into the season. But as I say, the results really don't mean much. I mean, the game against Angers or whatever it was last Friday, Liverpool next weekend is going to be a completely different kettle of fish. So you can't take an awful lot from it. Pellegrini would have obviously been setting out bits and pieces and things he would be wanting to look at, but most of the work that he does that will come to fruition will be on the training pitch. And we'll see exactly how good we are come next weekend. But as I say, all in all, it was a good workout. We won a trophy. Hey, actually, first bit of silverware we picked up for quite a few years. The elusive Betway Cup we've got. And as I say, I just think it was a good bonding exercise. I was pleased the fact as well they kept it in the UK and went into sort of mainland Europe. Didn't go jetting them off to Hong Kong or Australia or America or something like that with a week to go. So they're back. They can knuckle down this weekend, and hopefully we're going to hit the ground running next weekend. So I say, yeah, pre-season was nice. I'd say not looking too much into it, but a couple of things that sort of stood out for me. There's a couple of players that stood out for me, which I'll probably go on to later on. But in particular, the only thing that was of a slight concern, but I know Pellegrini will get this nailed, was that a couple of times we had games where when Declan Rice wasn't playing, and we either played with Nobes and Wilshere or him and Obiang, there was this big hole that opened up in front of the back four, which I think other teams will, if that starts happening, we're going to get raped and pillaged through there because it's an area where you just can't be exposed, and it comes back to our whole thing of needing a decent central defensive midfielder. Now, I think Rice can do that job and do it really, really well. But I think we need a backup and somebody who's got that defensive mentality, because it was quite obvious when, so you got the likes of Noble and Wilshere, they both want to bomb forward, and neither of them sort of will just literally sit there and just patrol that back line. And it's even more worrying, and we're very, very exposed when the fullbacks push on as well. And I think we will get exploited unless that hole is closed up. But as I say, Pellegrini knows what he's doing, so I'm sure he'll have that all under control come next Sunday. But as I other than that, I think there was a few positives and there was a few sort of half decent performances. I'm not going to dwell on pre-season, because I say that's exactly it. It's pre-season, it's not the season, so I'm not dwelling on that. Transfer wise, I just think what an absolutely stunning transfer window. It's the best one I can ever remember. Obviously, we spent a lot of money. It's pleasing. All right, there's a few days to go, but there's not been a fire sale to basically pay for the people that we've bought. We've strengthened the squad no end at all. We've brought in some really, really, really good players. So credit where it's due. I have to give the board credit for appointing Pellegrini and his team, and Julius, if he's going to start bringing people in, and obviously putting the money up front to get some decent signings. That doesn't mean that I personally can just forget the last 2 or 3 or 4 years of crap that we've had to endure, but in the here and the now, without looking back, fair play. We've actually done some decent business, and we've got a transfer window which as a West Ham supporter, I'm actually really looking forward to the start of next season. Invariably, I've got to confess, particularly the last 5-10 years probably. You start the season, other than when we've been in the Championship, you start the Premier League season, I do, thinking like, well, are we going to get relegated? Or, how far down the table are we going to finish? Are we just about going to scrape through? Is the trapdoor going to open on the last day of the window? Looking at the fixtures towards the end of the season, seeing what kind of running we've got, thinking like, oh Christ, that could send us down. Because for me, there hasn't been that air of optimism about the squad, about the team, about the manager. And this year, everything, just absolutely everything, is different. And so I, for one, I'm really looking forward to it. This year, I've got no doubts at all. There's no consideration in my mind that we're going to be in a relegation dogfight. It won't happen. We're going to be pushing the other end of the table, which is, to me, is a long overdue and pleasant change, because we have West Ham supporters have enjoyed some absolute crap. Not only performances, but just transfer windows and everything. Nothing compares with what we've just got this summer. And sometimes I still have to sit there and kind of pinch myself and say, like, are we spending like 40 million quid on a player? Because this isn't West Ham, but they have, and happy days. So so very quickly looking at the players. I think we need to give some of them some time, particularly the ones that haven't played here before. Obviously, Wilshere will hit the ground running, no worries at all. Anderson, I think, is going to be a superb player, but I don't think he's going to hit the ground running. I think it's going to take him maybe 4, 5, 6 games to get the pace and the understanding of what the Premier League's all around before we can really see what he's all about and why Pellegrini wanted him, why he wanted him at City, and why he sees him as like the main man. So I think he will sort of build his I don't say his own confidence, because I'm sure he's a confident player, but he'll build his ability to cope with the rigours of the Premiership up over the next sort of, say, half a dozen games, and then I think we'll see the real Anderson performing. Yarmolenko, I think, to be honest, in all honesty, he's going to struggle to get a starting berth. I don't think he did enough in pre-season. He didn't get a huge amount of minutes, and I think at the moment we've got better options there. I think he's going to have to work to get into the squad. I'm sure he will at some point, but I don't think it's a given that he's going to start personally. Fabianski, if we start going towards the back line there, I don't think he is a nailed-on starter. I would like to hope that Adrian again has done enough in pre-season and training that he starts as the number one. But we've got a solid number two to come in. Diop, again, young lad. I think he had a few hairy moments. He didn't look assured and that composed in some of the games I've seen. Maybe again it's not unfair because it is pre-season, but he didn't strike me as somebody who's going to deal with the likes of Aguero and keep him in his pocket at all, which I thought was a little bit of a concern. Sure, he's a good player. I'm sure he's going to come through, and I think Pellegrini will pick and choose the right games for him, and he'll be quite quite clever how he uses him until he gets up to speed. But again, he's going to be a good player. No two ways about it. Fredericks, I think, is going to shine. Got no doubts about that. But at one, I'm really, really impressed with, and I've got to confess to having there's a bit of man love going on here. Not in that way, I hasten to add. But Fabian Balbuena, I think he's going to be superb. He's going to be the bargain buy of, well, from as far as we're concerned, of the summer. Right now we've got a couple of freebies, but to actually spend money and only spend like 3 or 4 million quid, whatever it is. The guy is composed, his positional awareness is superb, his passing is generally pretty good, he can play the ball out from the back, he reads the game really, really well, and he's a proper West Ham type player. I think there's no nonsense. I think he'll get stuck in, and I really think he's going to become a crowd favourite. I'm sure of it. I think he's going to be an absolute stunning signing for us. Very, very impressed with what I've seen so far. So, that's our signings. Again, we might get a few more. I touched on the defensive midfielder part earlier on. I think that is that's a concern. I really do think we need to strengthen in that area. I think Rice, whenever he's called, will do a job, but again we need some cover, and that area worries me. I mean, there's talk about getting Bernard or whatever his name is. I don't know if that's going to happen, but again, it's another attacking person. Where do we need it? Do we need somebody a bit more strategic who's going to sit in the middle, particularly with one midfielder having gone? So I think all in all, it's a good squad. I can't knock the squad at all. I think it's going to be a squad that is really going to deliver this season with that manager that we've got in there, because you can't underestimate the abilities that Pellegrini has, what he brings to the table, how he's got these players in that actually want to play for him, how he's kind of gelled that squad as well, and brought them all together. And I think it was also good getting early signings so that they come in, they bond with the existing players. He's developed a sort of a team spirit there as well, which seems to be quite evident. And yeah, all in all, squad wise, I think we're looking good. I'm sure there'll be a few fringe players go, potentially Hugo and Byram, etc. may go, and I think we might get a couple of loans in. Obviously, they're talking about Drinkwater. I'm not sure about that one, because I don't know as though he's actually a defensive midfielder. When he played for Leicester, I thought it was Kante that always did the defending part, and he was more attacking. So I don't know if that's going to come off, but hopefully they've got something up their sleeve to bring a body in there. But if we don't even bring any more in, I'm happy with that squad, definitely. Just looking forward to the season then. As I say, the football that we've seen in pre-season, there seems to be a lot of sort of possession-based stuff. Again, I know you're playing against a lot of kind of lesser teams, but still we're kind of setting up to be a bit more build up the back and keep possession, which is nice. We're going to hit people on the break. We've got pace. And we've got that passing ability in midfield as well, so there's no reason why we can't create an awful lot of chances this season and be very optimistic as to where we're going to end up. As to position wise, that 7th to 9th has got to be realistic for us. I'd have said, but me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we could actually sneak a 6th. You heard it here first. I think the people in and around us, I mean, if you look at Everton, for example, we'll see how good a manager Silva is, because on paper, I don't think they're any better than us. I don't think they're as strong as us. If I had to pick two managers, Pellegrini or Silva, I know which one I'm picking every time, and it's our man. Been there, done it, got the league title. So, he knows how to create decent sides. So, we'll see them off. Burnley are always going to be a threat, but they've got Europa League football. So, we know the Thursday and Sunday sort of routine does affect most teams, particularly those without huge squads. So I think they could struggle a bit this season. I can't see them reaching the heights they did last season. Leicester, they're much of a muchness already. I don't think they're going to really push on. I think they'll probably be in and around us, but below us. Wolves are a bit of an unknown quantity, but the Championship is very, very different to the Premier League. And I don't think they're going to, even though they've spent quite a bit of money and they've got some good signings, I don't think they're going to be up there pushing us. So of that little 7th to 10th brigade there, I think we're a cut above the rest. I really do. And then you've got obviously the big 6, of which Arsenal have got a new manager now. He took Unai Emery took a little while to get Seville up and running to being the team they were, winning the Europa League year in, year out. So I don't necessarily say he's going to hit the ground running. He's a good manager. I mean, again, another one that we probably would have taken at West Ham without a shadow of a doubt, but he's going to take probably a year, I reckon, to really gel that side and learn what the Premiership is all about. But again, we'll see. So there's a potential that can falter, could drop out of the top 6. Chelsea have got a new manager, and we'll see what he's all about. Don't really know too much about him. They've not really strengthened their side, although they've got a good squad. But we saw a couple of seasons ago when it was that they had a pretty ropey season. Who's to say that's not going to happen again? And obviously we've got our friends down the road in their new toilet seat shaped stadium, and hopefully that has the same effect as the London Stadium had on us, and they turn into a team that really struggles at home and struggles away and don't finish in the top 6, which would be really, really nice, because I'd just love to finish above them. So, there's some scope for us to break in, but say everything has to go our way. We have to be playing really, really nice football, but getting results. That's the important thing. Just quickly looking forward to Liverpool. How I'd set up on that would be, I'd go with Adrian in goal. I'd go with a left back at Creswell, based on the performance against Angers. I thought he did well, but with Salah attacking down on that right hand side, you need somebody who's going to defend. And Masuaku has been really, really good going forward. Can't knock him on that, but I think Salah would have a field day against Masuaku, and I think Creswell for this game needs to be there as a more defensive minded person. I'd play Bonambal Boena as the 2 centre halves, with Fredericks on the right. Probably would opt for a 4-4-2. I'd like to see Rice in there, but I don't think that will happen. I think he'll go with Anderson, obviously. Obviously Wilshere and Nobes in the middle, and then I'd probably stick with Antonio on the right hand side, to be honest. He's showing glimpses of the form he had a couple of seasons ago. I don't know what went on with his brain, whether or not the England call-up did something to him and he thought he was better than everybody else, or new people coming in or bigger contracts, or what. There was something went on in his head and he hasn't been right for a couple of seasons. If Pellegrini straightened his brain out and he's fit and focused, mentally focused, again, we've got a really, really good player on our hands. So I would love to see the old Antonio with all the goal celebrations and all that back again. And if we can get that person on the right hand side, that's quite a potent midfield. But I do have concerns about them all bombing forward and just leaving the defence exposed. But hey ho. And then up front, the nice mouth-watering partnership of Hernandez and Arnie. So I think that would be a cracking team, and that's going to cause people a lot of problems. And hopefully we can get a result. I mean, a win up there would be amazing, but I would certainly take a draw. I think that would set us up really quite nicely for Bournemouth thereafter. So yeah, that's how I go. And I say 6th place with European football the following season and a couple of good cup runs would be an amazing season, and would help to sort of justify the expenditure. But certainly I'd be happy with top 10. I just don't want to be sitting there looking over my shoulder thinking, oh Christ, who have we got in the running? But this season that ain't going to happen. So that's about it for me. Just very, very quickly, those who may have seen a video that Chris put up about the Hammers Chat Fantasy Football League thing, get involved. I've done a team. I'm probably going to be bottom of the table. I know Chris is going to obviously dish some prizes out and dish some stick out to people that have done well and done badly. So yeah, it should be good fun. If you check his video out, there'll be links to the code, etc. on that. It's the Premier League Fantasy League, but it's the Hammers Chat team. And also, anybody who's in for a little bit of a flutter, there's a Hammers Chat special on Betway. I've had a few pennies on that, so again, something with a really good price. I think it was 9-1. Definitely worth a little look at there if you're of the gambling persuasion. Anyway, that's enough for me. Really positive. Really looking forward to this coming season. And anyone more thing to say? Come on, your irons.